This is the Awful Allin workout. There we go. Whoop, hello. There we are. Okay, Awful Allin workout. It's an awfully challenging Tabata workout you can do. It requires basically just a wall, a bench, or a chair, and about 5 to 25 pound dumbbells. And it's going to be great for stretching out the calves and the backside of, or the front side of the body. It's going to help to restore posture, improve your fitness. Overall, fantastic workout. 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off per exercise for 4 minutes. We go through them one at a time. 4 minutes for the first exercise, 4 minutes for the second, and so on and so on. Best to use an app on your phone to time it and ring you through the rest and work intervals. It'll just make for a better flow to your workout. I use Boxing Timer Pro as my app. Okay, calf stretch, sit down, squat press is the first one. Now, for this exercise here, you're gonna have hexagonal dumbbells. They look like this. Okay, so you can see they're not gonna roll around because of the hexagonal shape. And I place them side by side on the ground. So they'll be like this on the floor. And the reason is that I like to elevate the front of my feet on the handles for a calf stretch. Okay, so my heel would be this part of my hand here, the back of my hand, that would be my toes. So I get a little bit of a calf stretch. So you can use weight plates if you want, or anything else you want to improvise on your own. Hexagonal dumbbells I think are great. So for the first exercise here, you're gonna have both dumbbells on the floor, side by side. You're gonna be holding on to some weights. You're gonna be sitting, front of your feet elevated, heels are on the floor, front of your feet are on the handles. I'm holding the dumbbells up in front of my shoulders with the palms facing each other. From here, I stand up, I do a shoulder press, I sit back down and repeat. Stand, press, sit, repeat, just like this. Now, some people have sensitive shoulders and are contraindicated from pressing overhead, perhaps due to an injury or some other condition. If that's the case, do a side raise instead of an overhead press. Okay? So I would do sit, stand, side raise, repeat. That will work your deltoids, your shoulders, and is generally considered a little bit safer if you have concerns. Now, the next exercise we're going to be going on to is the calf stretch bench rows. For this one here, we're going to be using some heavier weights, and we rest the weights on the bench. You're going to have the front of your feet elevated on the dumbbells. You're bent over, your spine is about 45 degrees, keeping it very straight. My palms are sideways facing each other, and I pull the dumbbells up beside the waist, lower them back down to the bench, and repeat. Just like this. Now, lowering the dumbbells down to the bench and relaxing them momentarily dissipates the elastic recoil or the elastic momentum in the muscles and tendons. So that forces the muscles, the contractile elements of the muscle belly to work harder. So it eliminates momentum for more of a training effect. And it also gives your posture a little bit of a break. Now, if you want to progress this movement, you add a pump at the top. So you go all the way up, down 2 inches, back up, all the way down. So in real time, it would look like this. And that pump will make it much more intense. That's the calf stretch bench rows. Now the next one we're going to be doing is calf stretch narrow deadlifts. So I just keep the dumbbells where they are, on the ground, my heels are down, my feet are up. I'm holding dumbbells down in front of me. I keep a straight spine the whole time, or put another way, I just maintain my natural curve. And I push my hips back, slide the weights down the lower legs, stand up tall and repeat. Slide the weights down the lower legs, so you're just hinging your body, but keeping the upper body very straight posture. It's when you start to round the back and go into sort of what I call the hunchback and Notre Dame posture. When you do that in a deadlift, that's where deadlifts become very dangerous. So we're not gonna do that. You wanna be like that drinking bird toy, okay? You know what I'm talking about. Now, and if you don't, well, you're in for a really amazing surprise when you find out what I'm talking about. Now, the next exercise we're going to do is the Klompen reverse fly, alternating. For this one here, you're going to be having both feet on the ground, but they're pointing up. So instead of feet flat, they're like this the whole time, okay? That's going to be working your shins, which helps to balance out tension posturally. You're going to have both palms facing forward when you start this movement. All right? So once again, my arms are holding the dumbbells down on the bench, palms forward, feet up, and I arc the dumbbell all the way up and around, following it with the head and eyes. This is going to work the rear deltoids and the mid-back to straighten out your posture, and your alternating sides just like that. Now, if you want to progress this, you could do it with the back of your hips on a wall. It's just going to be a little bit more posturally demanding, okay? And I would just do the motion like this. Just to give you a front view of what the arms are doing here, it looks like this, okay? And you want to keep the dumbbell generally in alignment with your shoulder. You don't want to be like taking it way back behind you, all right? Because then you're working different muscles. Now the next one is calf stretch, reverse, lunge, and touch. So I'm going to have one dumbbell on the ground just like that. And my foot, the front of my foot is elevated. My other foot is flat on the ground beside it. So to give you a view, this is what I'm doing. This foot's elevated, this foot's flat, okay? Now, from that position, the flat foot side, I'm holding a dumbbell. And the flat foot side is going to be the stepping side. It's going to be the leg that moves. So the flat foot is going to take a huge step, 2 to 3 feet behind you. You bend forward, you touch the bench, come back up and repeat. Just like this. Holding the dumbbell is going to help increase the intensity of the exercise. Going down deep, you're really going to work glutes and hamstrings. Just take note that what I'm asking you to do here to start is 4 sets per side. So I want you to alternate between right and left leg. Every single set. So you do 20 seconds on, 10 seconds rest for the left leg, then 20 on, 10 rest for the right leg, for one 4-minute interval that is shared between the 2 legs, 4 sets per side. Otherwise, you could end up incredibly sore. It is a progression to do 8 per side, but I'm letting you know that for many people, it's too much too soon. So just make sure that you have that instruction clear. Now the second last exercise is wall lean foot taps. For this one, I have the back of my head against the wall, and I'm holding myself up with the back of my head. I'm leaning backwards. If the wall wasn't there, I'd fall over. My feet are pointing up, so the only points of contact are my heels and the back of my head. From this position here, I'm tapping my feet up and down for 20 seconds, okay? You're gonna feel a burn in the shins, and you might also feel all of the muscles that help with head forward posture along the back of the spine and head. You might feel them start to stiffen up as you're working them. Between sets, I just relax the whole body like this, and then when we're back on for go, 20 seconds, tapping, and you take your break just like that, okay? Now, the final exercise is alternating leg lowering. It's a lower abdominal exercise, okay? So you're gonna be laying on the ground, face up, just like this, with your legs up in the air, hands are touching the shins at about belly button level, and I just lower one leg down to the bench at a time. So only one leg is moving, and they alternate like a pendulum, okay? Keeping the back flat the whole time. Now, if you want to make it more difficult, you move further away from the bench, because then you have to go a further range of motion until you tap the bench. A very important point on this is to keep the tongue pressed against the roof of your mouth when you're doing this. It does help you increase core stability. It does help you with, and I mean, there's a number of different examples I may show in some of my other videos, but just think that everything's in a big chain, and if your tongue's flapping around, all those core muscles that blend in between the ribs and the neck, that whole chain is a little loose. If you anchor your tongue, everything can contract in between. So just keep that in mind. So, this is the Awful Allin workout. It's an awfully challenging workout, but I know that you're awfully tough, and you got this, and I'm rooting for you in the game of life.